Well, I meet everyone. I think it's important when you're in politics that you have to meet everyone. I think people bring diverse ideas, feedbacks on administration, and that has been the trademark of Telugu Party. We love to meet everyone, we love to take feedback, we love our critics more, because I think because when you're in a government and you're driving at a certain pace, it's important to make sure you're in the right direction. Even a degree separation now, 5 years later, will be quite far off from your goal. So it's very important to make sure you're in the right direction. So I meet with everyone. I meet quite a few of the strategists. I take a lot of feedback. There are people who have helped us in the past. Prashantji is one of the person who was part of, who has helped us, who has given us a lot of feedback during the last electoral process. And we continue to remain in touch.
Will he be giving you political consultancy as well? Is that on the card?
He continues to give us feedback. And I talk to all the strategists in India. I continue to talk to all of them.
Only this strategizing part. And he will be enrolled in your party strategist or what?
He's not a party member, if you're asking that. He's not a TDP party member.
Yeah, I get it, but will it be full term if you are a strategist or something?
No,
or
no.
you are just taking suggestions?
We are taking feedback. What is their perception on the first 8 months of governance? What are our hits? What are our misses? And we are going a bit more deep down on our misses. How do we correct it? And how do you align with public expectation? That is our focus.
You know, when Jagan Reddy was the chief minister, he tried to create a revolution of sorts by introducing English medium education in government schools. Now you have a deadly combination of being the IT minister and the education minister as well. What vision do you have for schools, especially in the rural areas and in the...
See, you're calling that the former government did revolutionary work. I disagree with you. If you look at it, they had ideas that were very badly executed. By simply saying that your schools are English medium does not transform those schools. Teachers were ill-equipped, there were no bridge courses for students to adopt to English medium, and they struggled. If you look at it, in fact the numbers are so stark. The peak was 45 lakh students in government school. Today it is down to 32 lakh. During the last 5 years of YSRCP government, 13 lakh students have left government school to the private schools. This is the biggest debacle in school education that anywhere in India we have seen. So I am focused on sort of fixing things fundamentally, structurally, and yes, in the next 6 months we will launch an entire AI-driven prescriptive homework with tutoring even post-school hours at home. So you will see use of technology extensively, but parallelly I am trying to fix the most fundamental things, fundamental building blocks of school education.
So what's your comment on Vincent Assar report about the educational quality was come down in the Andhra?
CBSE school students probably flunked in most of the
That is true. So, if you look at ASR report, now in terms of our outcomes of education system, we are 1/3 of where we were in 2018. That is a stark report. Same thing with CBSE. CBSE is something that the erstwhile government announced, but didn't even take into consideration that the examination methodology is very different from the state board, and didn't prepare the students. See, I'm a CBSE product, and my 10th class exam was, as much as it was an exam for me, it was for my mother. So she would monitor every unit test, every half-yearly, quarter-final, pre-final, then finals very closely. I felt it's a responsibility as the HRD minister that I do the same. So when I institutionalized it and we started testing students, 90% of them were failing in one subject or the other, because they were not ready, they were not prepared for the CBSE model of examination. And that was the challenge. That's where we took a decision that we will implement it, but we will take a little bit more long time in terms of going there. Now the erstwhile government could not even implement state board properly. We lost 13 lakh students, and they spent close to 15 crores for IB report. It is not IB school. For a report from IB, they have spent 15 crores. No. Education का IB curriculum, yeah, not IB report. Not Intelligence Bureau. So for a report they spend 15 crores. So that's the sad part, right? On one side you're losing students to the private sector and there are hardly any IB schools in India. And these guys are now coming and saying state will transform itself to IB. I mean, where is this? So it's absolutely mismatch in terms of what is required in the grassroots. So we are correcting all that. We are focusing on the fundamentals. We want to focus more on not output-based education but outcome-based education. And you will see a lot of technology being used.
So what is your opinion on UGC draft guidelines and appointments of VCs? They are taking away the state
lot of
government
opposition
powers.
states
In
are.
Bangalore's opposition education corruption in Bangalore.
See, every policy will have its strength and its weakness. Now, if you look at it in Andhra Pradesh, in the last government, all the vice chancellors were political appointments. All the vice chancellors' positions were given to one community. One vice chancellor completely destroyed Andhra University, which is one of the oldest universities in Andhra Pradesh. The number of students have substantially fallen. There is hardly any research happening. If you look at NIRF rankings, we substantially collapsed. So there has to be some guiding principle. States should have autonomy, states should have the power to appoint, but there has to be some sort of guardrails. And I believe the recent thing is a guardrail for the states. So otherwise, I have seen higher education completely destroyed by the past administration. In fact, education was completely destroyed by the past administration. For the media friends who are from Andhra Pradesh, you know what has happened in Andhra University, how it was used as a political center, and how whenever CM comes, CM would visit Visakhapatnam, they would be taken out onto the streets. So rather than focusing on research, they are focusing on politics, and that is dangerous. That is not a good trend.
What do you have to say about AI? Everyone is talking about AI, but there are no regulation as such right now. So what is your opinion on that? Should there be a regulation in place as we take AI in almost all sectors?
I think regulations eventually should come, but we should not put the cart ahead of the horse and stifle innovation. Definitely guardrails will have to come, like for example, AI in education. Now my biggest question is, what are the guardrails? There has to be age-appropriate content that children are exposed to. How do you ensure that is done? So there's a lot of safeguards that need to come. But we should not put the cart ahead of the horse and stifle innovation. And that has been the stand of the India government in Andhra Pradesh.
But you do not agree that recently it was announced about deep tech, but now a government announcing that there should be a imposition on ChatGPT and DeepSeek, the data sharing should stop, and imposing all these AI tools. Don't you think this is too much for the people who have already been using it?
I believe that people will continue to use it. I'm not too sure what regulation you're talking about. What circular I have seen is that government